Hey guys, let's get more news from Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Klay facing career mortality after Warriors win over Nets. Klay Thompson's trip to the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame keeps running into walls. He's already deserving, but this season has brought more strife than prosperity. And he might have stared at his career mortality Monday night in Brooklyn. The Warriors fought their way out of a morass of their own making, prevailing with the element that always gives any team a chance: defense. It materialized in the second half to overcome a hideous first two quarters and carry them to a 109-98 victory over the Nets. But most of Golden State's second-half recovery came without Thompson, a fabulous two-way player in his physical prime, but his shooting touch has become unreliable and his defense much less versatile. This is a season where he's had a lot of ups and downs, Coach Steve Kerr told reporters at Barclays Center. It's not easy for a guy who's been so good, a Hall of Fame player, to deal with the injuries. It's never easy for any player getting older. Stephen Curry, whose enduring partnership with Thompson produced the sweetest shooting backcourt in NBA history, seemed almost wistful when asked about Klay being in such a precarious state. "I know he wants to shoot the ball better," Curry said. "I know he wants to be out there on the floor. He's a champion. He's a guy that's been as much a part of all our success as anybody. The challenge, as we get deeper into our careers, is the adjustments that we all have to make to try to continue to win at the highest level. That challenge is getting the best of Thompson. 2 major lower body surgeries, ACL on the left knee, Achilles tendon on the right leg, have robbed him of the lateral quickness that once allowed him to guard 4 positions. He's averaging 17.2 points per game but shooting career lows from the field. Thompson finished with 8 points on 4 of 9 shooting, including 0-3 from distance. He played 19 minutes in the first half, 11 in the second. The team thrived when he was sitting. Most of his minutes were distributed among Gueye Santos, Moses Moody, and/or Lester Quinones, whose combined NBA experience amount to less than 1/4 of Thompson's. Yet all three made more substantial contributions than Klay. The Warriors had a 4-point lead when he was replaced by Moody with 7:19 remaining and, 90 seconds later, the lead was stretched to 11. The Warriors closed with Brandon Podziemski, Jonathan Kuminga, and Draymond Green, Curry, and Santos. 2 vets, an emerging star, a rookie, and Santos, who was appearing in his 9th NBA game. "They play hard, they bring energy and play with confidence," Curry said of the Podziemski and Santos. "Good things happened for both tonight and we needed every bit of it to close out a game that was sitting at a 6-point game at one point in last 4 minutes. It was a beautiful brand of basketball." Last chance, proposed trade sends Klay Thompson to San Antonio Spurs. The Golden State Warriors are a long way off contention this season. The team that won the title 2 years ago is coming off a second-round exit last season, with the possibility of missing the playoffs altogether this year. They're 22-25 and looking to climb up the standings. They will need to make a trade, and it could be one featuring Klay Thompson. Klay is averaging 17.1 points this season on 41.5% from the field and 37.1% from 3. He's seeing his role in Golden State diminish every week, being usurped by more consistent youngsters like Brandon Podziemski and recently, Gueye Santos. Thompson has been visibly upset at this change in stature while still looking to be competitive to get a big new contract in the summer. The hopes of that contract coming from Golden State are slim, so the franchise could send Klay to a new situation in San Antonio where he can be a veteran mentor and rebuild his value on the court. A deal like this is unlikely for various reasons, but there is a world where both franchises make it work. It gives the Warriors some veteran depth to fill out their roster while giving Klay an opportunity under a coach like Greg Popovich, where he can rebuild his value amidst a tanking Spurs roster. The Warriors trading Klay away with half a season on his contract seems insane given his status as a franchise legend, but the team may not have a choice. His energy is hurting the Warriors' locker room and he's struggling to be relevant to the franchise's winning plans in the immediate future. Breaking up Klay's $43 million this season into 4 smaller contracts could be a resourceful way for the Warriors to exit this era. None of the incoming players are star caliber but could be valuable bodies for the Warriors as they embark on a second-half push. Doug McDermott is a sweet-shooting big man averaging 6.1 points on 44.1% from three this season. Graham could rediscover his version on the Pelicans, but is averaging 3.5 points this season. Sadie Osman is a 3-and-D option who's averaging 7.3 points and 2.5 rebounds. Charles Bassey is out for the year and is in the trade to just make up the final financials. Golden State is expected to float the availability of Andrew Wiggins on the market, and if they can use Wiggins with additional pieces for a major addition, they can balance out their roster nicely for a second-half push to the playoffs. Last season, Klay looked like an integral member of the Warriors. He was crucial in keeping the team afloat when Stephen Curry was injured, especially when the team was hovering below .500. That version of him has disappeared this year, with the first absence starting in the playoffs as Klay was unable to be impactful in their second-round loss to the Lakers. Instead of continuing this cycle of pain with Klay, the Spurs could give him a new opportunity to spread his wings. The Spurs are focused on Victor Wembanyama, but with Wembanyama spending most of the season under a minutes restriction, the Spurs have quality minutes to offer. They've been using it to develop youngsters, but many have questioned their maturity. Bringing a four-time champion and one of the greatest shooters in league history into the locker room could be great for their growth as players as well. Klay can play off the gravity of Victor Wembanyama and give the Spurs a corner shooting option. Given the lack of guard plays on the roster, Klay could be trusted to lead the offense on his own. The success of that will be mixed given Klay's recent form, but for a team that is 10-40, trying it out wouldn't hurt. It would also further bolster the perception of the Spurs as a veteran-friendly destination for future team-building purposes. Getting a second chance in such a tailored situation will be nearly impossible for Klay. The Spurs are a team that could pay him over market value in the summer just to have his shooting influence on the roster, especially over young wings like Devin Vassell. Klay has a lot to give, but it'll be challenging to find a team in free agency that'll be willing to give Klay over $20 million per year on the open market. The Warriors don't get to upgrade in terms of a quality player, but get a solid set of rotational players that could slot in on their charge up the West standings. It also helps them avoid losing Klay for nothing in the summer. While it'll be heartbreaking for many fans, the NBA is a business and the Warriors need to start treating it like one ASAP. This deal would provide short-term luxury tax relief, though losing Klay for nothing would be the best form of tax relief for the franchise. That's unrealistic as the team is still building to win with Stephen Curry, so breaking it up into smaller and tradable contracts would be a good move. For Klay, San Antonio could be the place where he shows off the version of him we saw through the second half of the regular season. If he doesn't materialize into that, it'll be a shame for everyone. But this gives him the best opportunity to have value when he heads into an uncertain free agency market in the summer. And you fan, what do you think of the Klay Thompson situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.